on, everybody? Josh Cathcart here with Hitting Done Right. Today I am going to revisit one of my most popular videos, the load to launch. Okay, it's been our most viewed video here on the Hitting Done Right channel, and now I'm going to go into a little more depth with that. That one was more of just a quick drill, let you know what launch position is. This one, I'm going to break it down a little bit more for you. Before we get started though, I'd ask you to go like and subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date with us. All right. Also, you can go over to my website, www.hittingdoneright.com, for your swing analysis, customized practice plans. So if y'all do that, that would be awesome. All right, y'all. Load to launch. Getting into launch position, the hitting position, is probably the most important hitting position. Okay? But we got to load first. And something that I see a lot with young players is they either have not been taught or they literally forget to load in games when the pitch is coming because they got so many other things going through their brain and they haven't practiced enough. All right, so I'm going to start with the load move, which for me, you can't have a good swing without a good load. I'm having this conversation with another coaching buddy online the other day. He asked the question, what's more important, a strong load or a hard swing? And I said, well, you really can't do one without the other unless your swing's going to be bad. The load is the first thing to happen. We have to get our body prepared to swing. If you're trying to make a swing without a load, it's like pulling the trigger without a bullet. Right? There's nothing's going to happen. All right, so let's talk about this load first. Okay, by now I'm sure everybody has heard of hip coil. Okay, load the hips, get into the back hip, that sort of thing. I like to think chest over my back leg, kind of butt out. That move right there gets me coiling around my hip, getting that glute loaded up. Okay, I don't want to get into my shoulders and get rotational. And that's something that you see a whole lot with players when they do this, is they'll get up here and they'll go to load and everything turns this way, especially when they're working on the tee. Okay, keep your eyes out at the pitcher. Think about keeping your chest and shoulders square as you can, and then we get into this move right there. We should have kind of that moment of balance. Okay, get into that hip properly. All right, get into this balance position, be able to hold. If we come up and we just crash forward, no good. If we get up here and we rock back, no good. Just right there, balance position, and then stride out. So that is the load of the hip. Now we also have to get into our scaps or stretch our back. Some people talk about loading the scaps, kind of just this step away or this slight pullback. Okay, feeling stretch underneath through the front and lat right there, and then kind of up across the back there, getting that stretched. Okay, now putting all of that together on time. We don't want to rush the load. Okay, we would be here, get our rhythm. Some people may have their hands going, some may be right here bouncing, whatever the case is. But then as that pitcher gets ready and he starts to move, here we go, get into my load, and then stride to launch. Okay, launch position, where this front foot makes contact with the ground, not heel down, but where the front foot first touches the ground, kind of toe ball of the foot. Okay, and then here's the checklist. Feet as wide as the bat is long. Head pretty much in the center. You may be a little bit more set back. Some people may get a little more back here, but I like balance. Front elbow, even with the back hip. Front shoulder connected to the chin. Hands over the back foot. Even with the shoulders is a good spot. Knob to the catcher. Okay, this would be launch position. Looking at players both in here in the facility and online for analysis, load into that launch is never right. Okay, they don't know, they don't pay attention, whatever the case is, but very, very, very seldom do I have young players who actually correctly load and then get into launch position, okay? If you can master those two movements and get into those two positions consistently, your swing has a chance to be very consistent. The biggest mistakes I see with this, like I was talking about with the load, is where we kind of rock back, okay, or no load, and they just kind of step, okay? And then with launch position, I see this all the time. The feet, or the front foot and hands want to come together, or they're dropping, or they're falling and laying this back this way instead of having this proper position. If you go to Google and put launch position in the search bar, the image that comes up is a poster of some of the greatest hitters of all time, and they're all in this position that looks almost identical. Their hands may be a little bit different, the barrel angle may be a little bit different, their knees may be a little bit different, but overall, launch position is universal for great hitters. All right, so I hope this one helps. This is a little bit more in depth. Like I said, that quick, short load to launch video has been our most viewed, so I appreciate that. But get those players to load properly, get those players into the proper launch position, and unlock those swings. Y'all be good.